Let's try to do this one. Welcome back. My name is Allie. I am a hairstylist documenting my way to owning my own hair salon one day. And my goal and my dream is to combine the life coaching world with the beauty industry, because I truly believe beauty comes from within. Let me take these. Actually, let me leave them on. Today we're going to talk about things I've learned, life lessons, or just things or like advice I've learned now that I'm 33. I just want to share so that you don't make the same mistakes that I did, or so you can learn from my mistakes, you know? Okay, so the first one is people come into your life either for a season, a reason, or a lesson. And it's okay for relationships to fail and let them go. Man, I can give you so many examples. Perfect example is the Be Bauer Hair Lounge, right? I was with them for a season, I want to say, and it taught me a lesson, because let's just say that, you know, I thought this salon was going to be my home salon. I thought I was going to thrive in there, but it didn't work out. So the lesson there for me was that I expected too much, right? I had maybe high standards, I don't know, or I gave it my all, you know? I was in there, I was so excited to start as a hairstylist there, and to be a hairstylist there, and to learn and to, you know, help women and their confidence, and it just didn't work out. So yeah, also I want to say that, you know, God was looking out, you know, and redirecting my path, like, you know, so I don't know. Okay, another thing, learning to love yourself and accepting love. This is a huge one. Learning to love yourself and accepting love. Whew. This one I had to learn the hard way for me, like accepting love. So a couple months ago, when I was going through the whole wedding planning and stress, I had a hard time accepting love from my fiance, from my husband. I don't know how, I don't know what we were arguing about, but I was guarding myself. I had a wall, and he saw right through it, and he said, why do you feel like I'm gonna walk away or run away or leave you or something? You know, like when he said that to me, it just hit home. Like, I don't know, that argument that we had, it was just like very eye-opening for me, where I was like, you're right, like I have a hard time accepting love, and it shouldn't be like that. I should just trust. And a lot of it came from, a lot of it stemmed from being the oldest, and my parents were always working, and so I was always looking out, you know, for myself and my siblings. So I grew up with the saying, and let me know, comment down below if you can resonate with this one, but like, it's always me, myself, and I. No, it's me, myself, and I. Like, I can only trust myself. I don't trust anyone. I will never like let myself down. Like, I will always be there for me. Like, no one's gonna take care of me like I do. That was my attitude. And you can't go into a marriage with that attitude, because that's why you have a husband, to love you, to take care of you, to provide for you. Because yes, we can do it for ourselves, but that's also selfish, you know, because selfish and lonely. Because if someone else wants to be there for you, why would I block them? You know, why would I not let them? So that little argument that we had, big argument, kind of changed my perspective, and I said, you know what, I'm gonna accept love. I'm gonna accept it, and I'm gonna welcome it. And ever since, now I feel like a spoiled princess, because I love him and he loves me, and I give him so many headaches, but he's still there. And you know, I'm obviously aware, you know, so I do my part, and I love Okay. Oh no, my camera's gonna die soon. Okay, I'm gonna charge it. See, really in the bag. He's so cute. He's the cutest. All right, we're back. Camera has been charged. And then so I am so happy that I found the quote that I was going to show you and share with you guys. So let me pull up my. So the thing says, I'm just gonna put that there. The thing says 2 traps you need to avoid: caring what they think and thinking that they care. Okay, so you are over here very concerned that they're thinking, very concerned that you're over here thinking that they care when they don't. They don't. All right, caring what they think and then thinking that they care when they don't. And this specifically, I have it on my notes here, and I think that this resonated with me, especially at the gym, because when I go to the gym, I used to be a little more like concerned, like, oh my god, they're looking at me, what are they gonna think? They're gonna make they're gonna make judgments, they're gonna make fun of me, they're probably thinking like these pants are too tight, or I'm lifting, or I'm squatting and I don't even have a big butt, and it's like, why is she lifting? Where's her butt at? Where are her glutes, you know? What are you eating? Okay, so yeah, this one really resonated with me, especially like at the gym. I used to think like, oh my gosh, people are gonna make fun of me, or they're looking at me, or they're just, you know, like like I said, they're probably like, oh my gosh, why is she how is she squatting, or why is she squatting, and where's her body at? Like, you know, it's like just making judgments. And I used to be very concerned. And so anyway, so I would just get in my head, and then I remember this quote. I saw this quote, and ever since I seen that quote, I like mindset shift. So now I'm like, they're not even thinking, they're not even looking at me. And if I do make eye contact with them, believe me, they don't care. They are in their zone. Everyone is in their zone, especially at the gym. They don't care. You are. So hopefully this is helpful for you. Go into the gym with that mentality. Nobody cares. Okay, everyone's doing their own workout. Mind your business and focus on your workout. Trust me, nobody cares. Okay, so I'm really glad I found that quote. Next on my list of things that I've learned now that I'm 33. I always wondered what drive. Oh, let's talk about courage and expand on this. This is a really good one that I want to talk about, and it's courage. So as a life coach, when I had my students, or my clients, guests, I call them students, guests, clients, whatever. When I had my clients, I would always like, I would just look at the general population, right? And I would just be very curious. And I've always been a very curious person. I've always like wondered what makes someone do something, or like, I've always been very like, hello. I've always been very curious, right? So one of my curiosities have always been, even for me and my family and like my siblings, like I always like, I'm like, why am I the way that I am? Why am I very ambitious? Or why am I very like, what's the word? Not ambitious. What's the word? Very productive. Like, why do I, you know what I mean? Like, why am I always working on myself, or doing, like, just being very productive? Why? And like, I see I see my siblings, I see other people, and they're just, I don't know, let's call it mindlessly scrolling, you know? Like, they're not goal oriented, they're not working towards anything. They're just taking it day by day, you know? And so I've always been curious, like, why? Where does it come from? Where does that ambition or that desire to do better for yourself, or to explore different things. I don't know, to do something outside of your comfort zone. Where does it come from? Like, what makes someone go outside of their comfort zone? And I think I finally figured it out, and it is courage. Courage. Now me, I grew up in a very like I grew up in a very dark environment, very I don't even know what the word is. It's not dark. I grew up in a very, let's just say, and I don't like to use the word toxic. Let's just say I grew up in a very tough environment, okay? And so there were a lot of challenges and there were a lot of adversities. And little by little, like growing up, I just overcame them, you know? And there was nothing, and to this day, there really isn't anything that frightens me or scares me. And like the decision to go to beauty school at 30, to someone, it may be daring, right? It may be like scary. For me, I was like all for it. I was like, yes, you know, to do YouTube, you know, to someone, that's scary. To me, it's fun. To me, it's nerve-wracking, but you know, it's cringy, but I like it. I enjoy it, you know. But anyway, I think courage is what holds people back. I think that you need to put yourself out there. I think you need to push yourself from your comfort zone and do courageous things. You know, make a list of things and just boldly go for them. You know, I don't know how to teach courage, but if I learn or if I figure it out, I'll definitely make a video about it. Okay, education is free now. College is overrated, okay? I went to college, okay? I went straight from high school to college. I got my 4-year bachelor's degree in business economics and minor, no, hold on. I have my 4-year bachelor's degree. I majored in political science. I was going to go to law school, and then I minored in business economics. I was going to be a whole attorney. I was going to do either family law, immigration law, or even corporate. Like, I wanted to do law. I was like, yes, because I'm a very type A personality. Like, I'm very organized. I'm very systemized. Like, that's my career. No, okay? When I saw how much law school is, I was like, oh Lord, that's a lot of money. And I wasn't sure. I was already coming out of college in debt, so I was like, I don't know if I can commit to more money, more debt. So I was like, no. So I explored different careers. But nowadays, I truly do believe that education is free. Okay, you can learn anything and everything. You can learn what I learned, which is the US government and and politics and law. You can teach that to yourself now with all these articles and videos and YouTube. You can learn a trade through YouTube. You can learn how to fix a tire through YouTube, you know. You can be a mechanic through YouTube, I think. I don't know. You know, it's just it takes, I think it takes curiosity for sure. You know, you definitely have to be curious about something and be very passionate about it, and then you'll teach yourself to learn it. So yeah, I think that college it's not worth coming out of debt, like with so much debt. I mean, I'm not even practicing my degree, you know. Could I go to the mayor's office right now or be a paralegal? Sure, but I can't be, I don't know, I just could I don't know. I haven't really thought about it. I think, yeah, I could, but it wouldn't give me the freedom to be creative with my work and, you know, do my own thing, work at my own hours. So yeah, I think you can definitely teach yourself something. You can learn anything. You can learn a new language now, okay? So if you could save yourself from collecting debt and going into college, don't do it. Unless it's like for, obviously, like being a doctor or a lawyer, You have to know the law, you know. You have to like go through all that licensing. Same with being a doctor, accountant. I'd be a really good accountant too, but what's going on? Hello. Anyway, for all my girls out there, you can teach yourself how to cut hair through YouTube. So that's why my point is education is free. You can teach yourself anything. College is overrated. All right, next point. Trades is where it's at. Exchange of services. I think this kind of piggybacks off with education being free. I think my next point, I think I'm at point 6. I don't know. I'm not counting them. But this next point talks about trades. Trades are in right now. I truly believe that. Because, okay, yeah, trades are in. So learning a trade, construction, cementing, what's the other one? Electrician, hair, anything that requires plumbing, air conditionings, and all of that stuff. I think that is in right now. I think that we don't need no more, I don't know what the other word is. But yeah, I think trades are very in right now. So to all my girlies out there, I think that being a makeup artist, hair artist, all of that, or baking, I think cooking, like anything that requires like us, like hands-on, I think that's very in right now. I think it's trending. I think that anything that you can do with your own hands, I think that is in. Anyway, okay. So that's my take on just careers, like where I see careers going. Definitely in the trades. Okay, money is a mindset. Opportunity is everywhere. This I truly believe. I truly believe that I came from a like money, what's the word? So I came from a money scarcity mindset, okay? Growing up, I grew up with basically poor, okay? My parents were immigrants. I was first generation. We didn't have much at all. I came from very humble beginnings, okay? And so growing up, like my mom was a saver. She would always get us like secondhand stuff from the thrift store. She would go to churches to collect food. She would take hand-me-downs from people, random people she wouldn't really know, and she would take anything, and she would collect all this stuff. To this day, she's still a hoarder, but all her mentality was always to save. So I get it, we should save, but we should also invest, and we should also be smart with our money and be intentional with where we put it. I think investing in yourself is key. It's very important. And so I changed my mindset with time, and I think I got this from my dad too. Like my dad he's not a saver, he's a spender. He spends his money, okay? He has 0 in retirement right now because we are his retirement plan, his kids. But I think I got a good balance from him and my mom, you know, to be a little frugal, but also have fun and enjoy it, because money comes and goes. And when you die, you're not going to take your money or your belongings with you. So, having said that, I changed my mindset from money scarcity to abundance. So now I believe that I find money anywhere and everywhere, in the car, in my wallet. Like money is not, like if I really wanted money right now, I'd bake cookies or I'd bake something, and I'll go outside to school and I'll sell them. Like, hey, if I really like desperately needed like 20 bucks right now, make cookies or make something and then sell it, and I'll make money, you know? So it's not hard. Like, it's just more of changing your mindset from saving to, okay, what can I do to make more money? Okay. Hopefully that's clear. Okay. Finding and how. Ooh, finding your purpose in life. This one's a good one. This one's an oldie but a goodie for me. So, man, this this throws me back to maybe like 4 years ago when, or maybe 5 years ago now, I don't know how many years ago. Let's say 5 years ago, when I truly found my purpose. My purpose was my son. I mean, then in that case, you know what? That's 8 years ago. No. I think finding your purpose requires a lot of self-discovery, self-exploration, faith, reading, journaling, and exploring, you know, different options, different careers, meeting new people, going outside your comfort zone. And then you really get an idea of like what your calling is. For me, I say my calling is being a great mom. Like, I obviously, like, that's kind of like cliche, right? For my son, like, I want to be the best mom I can be, best wife, and just a fan, like a provider, you know, being just being a great mom, having more kids, and just being the mom. Okay, hold on. So yeah, for me, it's more about being a great mom and being a great example for my kids. And part of that involves being a great leader, a great influencer, a great role model, someone that you can come to for advice, someone that has been in the trenches and kind of got out and now is living her best life and creating this, not creating, but like enjoying this beautiful life that, thanks to God, we have, you know. So that's my calling. And yeah, and it involves YouTube, it involves Instagram, it involves social media, it involves networking, it involves the hair business, the beauty industry, because I enjoy it so much. I get lost in it. Like, if I start hair or if I start doing your makeup, I get lost. It's such a beautiful art, but it's more than that, right? So that's how I kind of bridge the two together and put them together and merge them together, and that's my calling. I hope it all makes sense. But yeah, if you want to find your purpose in life, like I said, it requires all of that exploration and doing. And I do have a 3-step process that I'll dive into more, and I can't wait to talk about it and share it. But basically, the first step is, and this is very practical steps that I used to do with my clients, was, I believe, self-awareness. So your very first step is self-exploration, self-awareness. Know your strengths, know your triggers, know what your passions are, what you're really good at. So all of that. The second step is kind of writing down your bucket list, everything you've been wanting to do all your life, and then just listing them all down. And then the third step is execution. The third step is, okay, so what can we do? What practical steps can we do to make this happen? And so we make, like, literally, like, we set goals, and well, now we set goals, but we make steps to reach those goals. So those are my top 3 steps for kind of figuring your purpose in life. Okay, and talking about life, I used to think that there was no book in life, and that's why I think I became a life coach. So I was like, well, there's no book in life, you know? No one tells us how to live our life and like how to find our purpose. Which is kind of true, right? There's obviously, I mean, there's probably books out there now, I don't know. But at the time, I was like so overwhelmed. I was like, okay, well, this is how I'm doing it, and I just want to share it with the world. But at the time, I wasn't really close to my faith, and now I figured it out. There is a book in life, okay? It's called the Bible, okay? God gave us the Bible, and obviously it's not going to tell you, hey, take these practical steps to find your goals, right? No, it's more of a live by these rules and pray and have faith. More than anything, just have faith. Explore different things for yourself. Follow these rules, and it's all going to come together. God's going to make it happen for you. you know, because if you make wrong choices, then life is just going to take you into the wrong path. But if you make good choices based on this book called the Bible, the book of life, then you're going to make good choices and you're going to do great things, right? They might not be perfect, but they're going to be great. So, FYI, there is a book on life. It's called the Bible. Okay. I actually have yet to study the Bible. I have a devotional and I read it every day, and I'm learning these powerful quotes and just powerful scriptures. And I love them, and little by little, because the Bible is it's a big complicated book, right? There's a lot of stories, but I'm working towards it. I'm working towards studying the Bible and going to Bible study. So right now I just want to really, I just really want to enjoy my devotional and enjoy this time of curiosity and getting my feet wet with the Bible. So yeah. Okay, here is another one, and probably the last one that I want to leave you with, because there's a couple more, but I'm gonna add more to it and then come back, and then anyway, I think this is the last one. This is the last one I'm gonna leave you with. I think this is a very powerful one. There's more that I have, but I feel like I lost track of how many tips or advice, life lessons I've shared. But this is the last one I'm gonna leave you with. No one is gonna do the work for you. You gotta put in the work, okay? You gotta put in the work in life. I remember when I was a single mom, this was like 5 years ago, I had my own apartment. I was so excited. I moved all my stuff in. And I built Leo's bed, and so I was like tired, right? And then I had to go to work, and it was just like, one day it just hit me like a ton of bricks. I was in the bathroom and I was like, man, like living, like building, like not building a life, like just living and creating your space, and it requires work. I was like this is work. Like I'm tired. Like I just built, my son's bed. I just put all my stuff away, and that's not even decorations. That's not even like putting like little nice things up. No, that's just like the framework. And I was just like, man, life requires work. To have my dream apartment and my dream setup and have the right vibes, be that girl with her apartment. Man, that required work. And so that's the best life advice I can give you right now, is that life requires work. My mom used to say, la vida cuesta, or cuesta para vivir, or something like that. But yeah, life requires work. No one's gonna do the work for you. It sucks, it's hard, it's difficult. And I think that's why we have a lot of lazy people, still living with their parents. Not pointing anyone out, because it's easier let me rephrase that. I think that's why we have a lot of lazy people, because it's easier to just be a couch potato, or it's easier to come home to your parents or to your mom and she already made dinner for you. You already went to work, you came back, oh my gosh, there's food on the table, great. Why do I have to leave? Why do I have to learn how to cook? But anyway, I'm digressing. Yeah, so put in the work, because it's gonna build your confidence too. Oh my gosh, don't even get me started on confidence, okay? Because girl, I had the worst confidence, okay, growing up. I was a chubby girl all my life, up until maybe end of high school, college. And so not only was my physical confidence down, but also like my self-esteem and respecting myself and loving myself was just low. But when you start working towards your things, towards your life, towards your dream life, and doing all these things that you really care for and want to accomplish, that's where your self-esteem just boosts, your confidence. You're like, okay, I can do this. Like, you know, you're putting in the work. And I'll give you more examples. Well, actually, let me give you a quick example, okay? Let me give you one quick example in honor of my wedding and in honor of just finding true love. Oh, hold on. It's Sunday. Let's enjoy it, right? Okay. So, a little story about confidence and how putting in the work helps your confidence. When I met my husband now, but this was like 7 years ago, 7 or 8 years ago, when I met him, I was recently out of a relationship. So I was a new single mom. So yeah, so when I met him, I was working 3 jobs. Wait, when I met him, I was a new single mom. I was doing it on my own. I was working 3 jobs. I was recently separated, and so I was doing the work. And I met him, and at the time, I actually met him doing Uber. I can't wait. Oh, I have to share that story with you guys. I don't know if I can share it right now. You know what? Let's share it. Why not? Let's add it. So, here. Well, actually, let's look at it. So I met him doing Uber. So I was working at the bank. I was a banker from 9 to 5. That was my 9 to 5. And then some days out of the week, I would close the gym. So I was a receptionist at the gym. And then I was doing Uber in the weekends to make extra money. I loved it. I was getting money every day. I was getting paid every day. So I really loved, you know, having multiple streams of income. But it was hard. But I was doing it, right? So I met my husband. I was on my way home. I was finishing up my night. So this was a Wednesday night. I was finishing up my Uber shift. I was like done by like 10. So I wouldn't do Uber. I would only do Uber from like rush hour to maybe like 9 o'clock. And so it was going to be about 10 o'clock. And so I was going to shut the app down. And sure enough, I get a ride. And I'm like, it said 5 minutes away. And I'm like, okay, 5 minutes, sure. So I accept the ride. I go, I show up. And he just jumps in the car and starts telling me right away, don't listen to the app. He says, don't listen to the GPS. I'll tell you where to go. It's faster. And so like he's routing me, taking me here, taking me there. And he's like, so how old are you? He literally interrogated me in like 5 minutes. Okay. And I was just like, what? And basically one of the questions he asked me was, if I had kids. I think he asked me if I had kids. No. He didn't ask me. Okay. I remember vividly this moment where I bring up that I have kids. I'm like, I have a son, and instantly he says, oh my God, I love kids, because he's a wrestler. He's a coach. He's a wrestling coach. So, and he was at the time a counselor, or he was involved in school. So he loved kids. So for me, I was like, instantly I felt like that was God putting him in my life. And like, I literally felt like this is the one, this is my guy. And I was like, no way, like no way, no. So I'm rushing to like drop him off, and he's like, oh, I love kids. And so what do you do? And he kept asking me all these personal questions. And so for me to like get him off my car, I'm like, dude, I'm married, I have kids, like leave me alone. And he just made me laugh with this follow-up. He goes like, but are you happily married? And I was like, who says that? I was like, I cracked up, and he's like, ha, so you're not. And I was like, dude, like, why are you, like, why do you care, you know? And so he's like, no, so can I get your number? Like, you seem like a really cool girl, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, listen, just get off my car. Yes, take my number. So I give him my number, because at the end of the day, I just always block him. He's, you know, just anything to get him off my car. I mean, I'm doing Uber at 10 o'clock at night. Come on. So I was like, just get out of my car. So I see where he lives, you know. He asks, so as we were driving, he also told me about what he does and his life and whatever. And so I'm like, okay, he seems like a pretty decent guy. I can see where he lives. I'm like, here, take my number, get out of my car. He gets out, texts me, and we go on a date the next day. And we hit it off. Like, I don't remember what we talked about on our first date, but we clicked, you know? And ever since, so we dated. And so to bring it back to my point about doing the work and building confidence. So at the time when I met him, like 6 months in, I broke up with him because I knew what he wanted. He wanted, like, I felt like he was ready for a family. I felt like he was ready to settle down. And for me, I wasn't. I still needed to prove to myself that I can do it on my own without a partner. You know, I felt like I didn't bring anything to the table. Like I didn't, my confidence was really low. Like I felt like I didn't bring anything. Now in retrospect, I brought me, hello. Anyway, but yeah, so at the time I was just like, I can't give you what you want, and I don't think it's fair to waste your time. So, you know, we broke up. I broke up because I felt like, you know, I just, so we broke up, and the rest is history. Now we're married. But now, okay, so to my point, right, is I felt like I had to bring value to the table, and so I had to let him go. And he did his thing, I did my thing, and with time, I kind of like, I was like, okay, I can do this. You know, I had my own apartment, I was doing the work, I was that mom, like that girl with her apartment, I was going to the gym, I had a great job, I was making money, but I felt like I was missing something, you know, and some way, somehow, like God made it work, and God put him back in my life, and now we're married. So my point is, putting in the work for me was hard, but it boosted my confidence, because now that we're back, now that we got back together, I was so relieved. I was just so happy that he was back in my life, and now it wasn't just him providing, I was also providing. And so we, like, for me, it was more about providing, right? It was like, okay, we both make great money, so let's, you know, because at the end of the day, like, I think my parents always argued about money, and so I didn't want to, like, argue about any of that, you know? And I think, anyway, long story short, I did the work, and I think that's what he loves about me the most, is that I'm a very confident woman, and it requires work. So yes, if you can relate to anything, any tips, any advice, any life lessons that I shared with you, please comment it down below. If you want me to tell a little story more, like tell a story about like the lessons, like the people are in your life either for a reason, a season, or lessons. I have so many stories about that too. I think that is in and of its own, I think, story that I want to do for that. But yeah, if anything that you want me to express or talk about more, just let me know, and I'd love to jump on here and talk about it. For now, my battery is again dying, so we'll talk soon. Thank you guys so much for watching. And again, my name is Allie, and I am a hairstylist documenting my way to owning my own hair salon and creating a space for community. And my dream is to combine the life coaching world with the beauty industry, because I truly believe that beauty comes from inside. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being here. Comment down below if you relate to anything, and I will see you guys on my next video. Oh, also don't forget to follow me on Instagram, HairDoneByAlly. I will always be posting on their stories and everything. So yes, thank you so much. See ya.